Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and good morning to everyone. Okay, thank you for joining us and welcome to the Erasmus Plus Grant sharing session. So the Erasmus Plus Grant actually is offered by the European Commission dan kita amat bertuahlah pada hari ini kerana bersama-sama kita adalah penerima Grant Erasmus Plus 2020. So saya ucapkan selamat datang kepada panel kita, ahli panel kita, teknologis Dr. Dalila Nor Affandi daripada UiTM Shah Alam. Selamat datang Doktor.
Okey, selamat datang. Terima kasih Dr. Nurjan.
Okey, juga terima kasih kepada semua para peserta yang terdiri daripada pensyarah UPSI yang dapat meluangkan masa pada pagi ini untuk sama-sama kita mendengarlah sesi perkongsian ilmu daripada TS Dr. Nor Dalila penerima Erasmus Plus 2020. Untuk makluman amount yang diterima oleh Dr. Nor Dalila agak besar iaitu berjumlah euro 135,670 ribu ringgit ataupun euro ataupun dalam ringgit Malaysia is about nearly to 630,000 ringgit Malaysia. Alright. So saya harap kita dapat stay lah di dalam secara virtual ini to the end of the session. Okay. So before we start, allow me to introduce our panelists. So TS Dr. Nor Dalila, technologist Dr. Nor Dalila Nor Affandi is a lecturer and researcher at the Faculty of Applied Sciences, UiTM Shah Alam, and she holds Bachelor Science Honours in Textile Technology and Diploma in Textile Technology from University Technology Mara Shah Alam. In year 2007, she pursued her study at master's level in Australia, and in year 2008, she had an opportunity to convert her master to PhD. So her research work mainly involves in the fabrication and characterizations of nanofibers using hydrophobic and hydrophilic polymer, nanofiber zeolites, fiber cross-linking, nanocellulose fibers, and nanomaterials for textile application. Some of her research activities are being sponsored by the Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia, particularly the Fundamental Research Grant Scheme, Dr. FRGS, and UiTM Excellent Funds, MedTech Private Grants, and International Grants. So Dr. Dalila currently serving in Faculty of Applied Science under the Textile Technology Department. So as a team member in the Textile Research Group, she is actively involved in a number of research related to the nanofibers and nanomaterial. And she also has been published in several index journals and currently supervising 6 master students. So in addition, she has been involved in conducting several short courses for MIT, PDRM, Bomba, Jabatan Kimia, Strike, Institute Craft Negara, and several local industry, specifically on textile materials. So itu sedikit sebanyaklah berkaitan background Dr. Nor Dalila penceramah kita pada pagi ni. Okay, so before we proceed with the presentation, let me explain how participant can ask questions. Okay, so if you have any question during the presentation, you just write down on the chat section. But at the end of this session, we will open to the Q&A question lah. Boleh tanya juga pada masa itu Di akhir sesi nanti, kita akan ada Q&A session. Jadi juga boleh bertanya di situ. Okay. So now without further ado, I would like to invite TS Dr. Nor Dalila Nor Affandi to deliver her presentation, Erasmus Plus Program, Capacity Building in the Field of Higher Education. Silakan Doktor.
Okay, thank you so much Associate Professor Dr. Nurjan. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to everyone. Okay, first and foremost, on behalf of the Textile Research Group from the Faculty of Applied Sciences UiTM Shah Alam, I would like to express my gratitude to the RMIC UPSI for inviting me to share a little bit with you about our Erasmus Grant. Alhamdulillah, early this year, 2020, our group has secured an international grant, which is the Erasmus Plus program. Just to let everyone know that our Erasmus grant is related to curriculum and program, which I believe it would be benefits to most of us as academicians. But before I start, allow me to share with you on how, when, and who was actually initiate this grant to us. Back in 2019, one of our colleagues, who was that time a PhD final year student from Ghent University in Belgium, had a conversation with several Asian students and also her supervisor, talking about applying the Erasmus grant. And from the conversation, they then finally agreed to apply for the grant. And at that time, they have also contacted several universities in Europe countries, mainly in Spain and Greece, to become the partner countries. Then after that, all the partners that include Belgium, Spain, Greece, Pakistan, Malaysia, and also Indonesia, had a couple of brainstorming sessions in order to define what is the main idea or issues related to the or that can fulfill the Erasmus grant requirement. With all the efforts and fruitful discussion, they then eventually came up with the idea of upgrading the curriculum of textile engineering and textile technology, specifically in three Asian countries, which are Malaysia, Indonesia, and Pakistan. Because of most of the PhD students in Ghent universities are academicians from the Asian university, so having them in this group are really helpful because they really know about the academic methods as well as the textile courses offered by their university. So that will be an advantage to us for this project. And after that, after identifying the main idea of the project, they then applied for the Erasmus Plus program under the capacity building in the field of higher education. Okay, in this slide here shows you how the website looks like. And if you look at down here, there are two types of capacity building projects, which are joint projects and these structural projects. So for our grant, we did apply under the joint project, which is aimed to help and improve the curriculums, governance, and strengthening of relation between higher education system in European and Asian countries. So if I click the link down here, I hope that everybody can see the website. Okay, this website here shows you the grant, the Erasmus grant program, specifically on the capacity buildings in the field of higher education. So if you further scroll down the website, you can see that there are a number of useful links that you can refer to. For example, there's a link on the international dimension of Erasmus Plus. There's also a link on how to prepare a competitive proposal and also a link on how to successfully complete and finalize a project proposal and also a little bit information on the capacity building in the field of higher education focuses on the Asian countries. So these links are very useful. If you have a free time, you can have a look in this website, which the link is up here. And I also want to highlight, if you further scroll down the website, you can also see that there is a brief description on the joint project and also a brief description on the structure project. I think I have already mentioned to you that we did apply under the joint project here. Okay, now let's look back the slide presentation. Okay, what I want to highlight here is actually in this website, there is a Erasmus Plus program guide, which is this guide is really informative and really helpful to any applicants. So in this particular case, I would like to advise to any applicants who are interested to apply for Erasmus Plus program, please download this guide because it got a lot of information that you can refer to. Maybe I should show you how if you click the link here, you can get this Erasmus Plus program guidebook. Okay, in this guidebook, there are three important parts, which are part A, part B, and also part C. So the first part is part A. It's all about the general information on the Erasmus Plus program. And you can also see the general objective of the grant, different structures of the grant in Erasmus Plus program, what is the budget, who implement this grant, and also who can participate this Erasmus Plus program. So all this information, you can find it in part A here. For part B, it is all about the different structures or grants offered in the Erasmus Plus program. Just to let everyone know that there are various types of grants in Erasmus Plus program. One of the examples is there is a grant on the mobility of individual, mainly for higher education students or even the staff. But for our grant, it is more on the cooperation for innovation and the exchange of good practice. So under that area, which is they call it as a key area, there is a grant on the capacity buildings in the field of higher education. So that is the grant that we did apply for this year for this year. So apart from those two grants, there are also many more. So if you want to know more details about types of grant, you can have a look in this guide here, specifically under the part B. Okay, now let's move on to part C. So part C is all about the information for applicants, where under this section, you may find steps before applying for the grant. So one of the important steps is you have to check whether your organization has already registered in the Erasmus system or not. So that's the first one you have to do. You have to check whether it is already registered or not registered. If let's say your institution or organization hasn't or is not registered yet in the system, you can register your organization in the link, which is they call it ECAS link. If you find out that your organization is already in the system, so what you have to do next is you need to find out whether your institution is still under the validated mode or sleeping mode or declare mode. So you have to check those things before applying for any Erasmus Plus program grant. Okay, apart from that, in part C, you can also find an information regarding financial conditions, the compliances with the program criteria. You can also know what would happen once you have submitted your application and what would happen if your application is already approved and any other important contractual provision that you need to refer to. So those information you can find it in part C here. Maybe I should share with you how the program guide looks like. This is how the Erasmus Plus program guide looks like, where if you look at under the table of content, you can find a brief introduction. You can also find part A, part B, and also part C. So let's say if you want to know about types of grants in Erasmus Plus program, you need to refer to part B, which is under the three key actions. So they've got various types of grant under the Erasmus Plus program. So for our grant, we did apply under the key action 2, cooperation for innovation and the exchange of good practice, where under these key areas, key action, you can find the capacity buildings in the field of higher education. If you're interested to know more about this grant, you can turn to page 160. Okay. Let's look at back the slide presentation. Okay, apart from that, another thing that I want to share with you is the application and selection procedure. This one is specifically for capacity buildings in the field of higher education. So all the details about the capacity building in the field of higher education, you can find it straight away in this application and selection procedure. Okay, now let's look. I just want to show you how the procedure looks like. This is how the procedure looks like. In this procedure, you can have a look at the introduction. In this procedure, it also explains to you the contents of the application package. It also shows you the deadlines and submission of the application package. Anything about the application, please bear in mind everything has to be done in the e-form. They call it as an e-form, e-application form. So all the information about the form, you can find it here. And you also need to know about the compulsory attachment. And another point that you need to know is the declaration and mandates under this grant. So these are really important information that you need to refer to before applying for the grant. Okay, inshallah, in the end of my talk, I will share with you the Erasmus Plus program guide, which I already showed you before, and also this application and selection procedure that you can refer to. I think it will be helpful for you and your team to have a discussion about it. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Okay, now how about the due date? Okay, the due date for capacity building in the field of higher education is on the 5th of February every year. So 5th of February every year, and the project needs to start on the 15th of November of the same year or 15th of January of the following year. So I think Now is the best time for you and your team to sit down and have a couple of brainstorming sessions just to get an idea what sort of area that you and your team would like to apply to fulfill this Erasmus Plus program. So I think you got quite plenty of time to discuss. So that's what I would advise. If you can do it now. Okay, everybody, I believe I have already explained to you on how do we get involved in this grant, who was actually initiate this grant to us, and also just a little bit brief on guidelines, and especially on how to apply this Erasmus Plus program. So from our side, the organization that responsible for managing and applying for this grant is West Attica University, that's in Greece. Okay, now allow me to share a little bit with you about our project under the Erasmus Plus program. And the title of our project is the Smart Textile Modernization of Curriculum of Textile Engineering and Textile Technology in Indonesia, Malaysia, and also Pakistan. And the short name for this project is Smart Text. And just to let you know that this project, there are 6 countries involved, which are 3 from European countries and 3 from Asian countries. Okay, for Asian countries, there are 2 institutions involved. As for Malaysia, the institution involved are University Technology Mara or UiTM and also University Tun Hussein On, UTHM. So for Indonesia, the university involved are Polytech STT Bandung and also Institute Technology Bandung. And for Pakistan, the institution involved are Bahauddin Zakaria University and also NET University of Engineering and Technology. That's under the Asian countries. For European countries, I will start with Greece. There are 2 institutions involved, which are University of West Attica and also IDEC, which is the Consultant and Training Center. We also have team members from Spain, from Universitat Politècnica de Valencia, and also one in Belgium, which is the University of Ghent. So these are the institutions and country involved for this project. Okay, here are the team members from UiTM. The head of the grant is the Associate Professor Technologist Dr. Muhammad Rozi Ahmad from UiTM Shah Alam, and other team members from UiTM Shah Alam are Associate Professor Technologist Dr. Muhammad Faisal Yahya and myself. We also have 2 team members from UiTM Kuala Pilah who are technologists Dr. Wan Shazihan Ruslan and also Dr. Atiyah Musa. And the total amount received for UiTM is euro 135,670, which about ringgit Malaysia 625,940. So that's the total amount received for UiTM. Okay, now let's look at the objectives of the project. Okay, the first objective of the project is to analyze the competency of graduates as it become one of the main issues in most of the Asian university graduates. So the second objective is to update the curriculum of Asian University by developing new or updating existing courses, mainly in textile engineering and any related technical study. So that's the second objective. The third objective is to integrate teaching and learning methods into a reform curriculum for Asian University. So to fulfill this objective, an online platform for teaching and learning will be developed specifically for the Asian University. So for the fourth objective is to develop learning materials for the new and updated courses. And for the fifth objective is to promote internalization of Asian University by implementing international exchange of staff and students. And the sixth objective is to build capacity of academic and administrative staff of Asian University by organizing training sessions to them and to the staff and administrative staff in European countries. And the last objective is to enhance the competitiveness of the graduate by sending these students to the local or international companies for internship. As an overall, you can see that in this project, it focuses on three targeted groups, which are first, the graduate, second is the local and international companies or industries, and the third one is academic and administrative staff. So those are the targeted groups for this project. Okay, how about the activities for this project? So for this project, the activities are divided into five work packages. The first work package is on the preparation work package. So under this work package, there are two main activities. The first activities is each Asian student needs to identify the competency skills of graduates required by the local industry. So for this work package, several interviews and questionnaire needs to be distributed to any industries or organization related. After getting all the responses from the interviews and the questionnaire, a report needs to be prepared where all the information from each university will be compiled and gathered into a report. And from the report, a competency profile from each university will be developed. So that's all about the first activity under the preparation work package. The second activities is on the benchmarking will be developed between the European and Asian countries. I mean, the benchmarking will be conducted between these countries. Okay, that's about the activities under the preparation work package. Now let's move on to the next work package, which is the development. Under development work package, there are six main activities involved. The first activity is to develop new modules or courses for Asian University and also to update the existing courses or module for the university. And the second activities is to purchase new equipment and machineries for lab work. And for the third activities is about designing an online platform that can be used by university for delivering learning materials. And in this case, each Asian university would have an opportunity to upload their learning materials designed for the university itself. As for the fourth activities is to develop an internship program where the Asian universities as well as the industry will be working together in this project. The development and accreditation of the internship program will be led and guided by IDEC in this project. IDEC has a vast experience in educating and training interns for European countries. So having them in this project will be helpful because our local student would have an opportunity to undergo internship program in European countries. So IDEC really helpful in this particular project. In the fifth activities, it's all about trainings. There will be two training sessions for academic and administrative staff. The first training would be in West Attica University in Greece, where the training is all about the implementation of internship and international mobility. The second training would be in Belgium and Spain, where the training is on the introduction to smart and technical textile, new innovative teaching materials, and also introduction to online platform used for blended learning. So uh, those are the activities. Yeah, that there is one more activity which is each Asian university will organize seminar and international meetings for all the partner countries. So these are the activities under the development work package. Now let's look at the activities under the quality plan. Under, under the quality plan work package, it involves to ensure the effectiveness of management and coordination of the project and also to get feedback throughout the project duration and maximizing the project impact. So for this particular work package, IDEC once again were responsible for the whole activities in the quality plan, while other partners will contribute and provide input. So that is under the quality plan. The next work package is the dissemination and exploitation. Under this work package, all the information or outputs of the project will be disseminated through website, communication materials, publication, presentation, articles, and lastly is the final conference. And the final work package is the management. And under this work package, it involves managing operational level, project meetings, financial management, and lastly is the reports of the project results. And these are the activities involved in this each work package. Now let's look at the duration of the work package. The total duration of the project is 3 years, where the project starts by January 15, 2020 until December 31st, 2022. The preparation stage will take about 4 months. The development takes about 32 months, and for quality plan, dissemination and exploitation and management will take about 36 months. And in fact, if you can see here, there are some of the work packages can be done concurrently. Okay, next, let's move on to the output of the work package. I will start with the first work package, which is on the preparation. The output of the preparations are competency profile for the graduates and also reports on the internship programs. So under the development work package, the outputs are the modernization of curriculum of each Asian university. There's also an online platform for teaching and learning materials will be developed. There's also a pilot testing of courses through online, and there will also two training sessions for academic staff, where the training session will be held in West Africa University and the Gen University and also the Valencia University. So those are the outputs under the development work package. For quality plan, the outputs are project management, documentation, analysis and review. There's also 6 semi-annual internal evaluation reports, and lastly an annual quality assurance report. For the dissemination and exploitation, the outputs are all the information will be disseminated through website, publication, presentation, articles, and finally the final conference. And lastly, for the management work package, the outputs are the project management plan, project meetings, the semester report, progress and final report, and lastly is the external audit report. And these are the output of the work packages, which I have already mentioned to you earlier. Okay, here are the budgets and the cost effectiveness for the whole project that involve staff costs, travel costs, cost of stay, equipment costs, and also the subcontracting costs. So the one that I'm showing here is the whole project, not specifically for UiTM. So it's for all the countries involved. Okay, if you look at here, the staff cost is about 400,000 euros. And for the travel cost, it's about 150,000 euros. And cost of stay is about 180,000 euros. And the equipment is about 240,000 euro, and subcontracting cost is about 45,000 euro. Okay, talking about subcontracting cost, subcontracting cost is all about the financial audit cost, cost of translations, cost of organizing final conference. So those costs are under the subcontracting cost. If you can see here, most of the cost falls under the staff cost, which means that whatever you do, you will get payment for it. It's not like our local grant, which is there's no specific on the staff cost, but the uniqueness of this Erasmus is it has a staff cost where you can claim to get they claim to get whatever you have done in this project. So that's the uniqueness of the Erasmus Grant. Now let's move on to the benefits and challenges of during this project. One of the benefits of the project is a new curriculum on technical and smart textile will be developed. Academic and administrative staff will gain experience and knowledge through training in European university, and the UiTM students will have an experience for international internship with high-tech textile companies in European countries. So those are the benefits for this project. How about the challenges or the obstacles during this project? One of, as we all know, that due to the COVID-19 pandemic has somehow affect most activities, including the implementation of this project. For example, now we had a problem to execute the first work package, which is on the interviews and questionnaire for the industry. Therefore, there was a delay on getting responses from the local industries. But Alhamdulillah, with all of the efforts from the team members, we finally managed to get the responses from the industry. So that's the most challenging works that they have that what we did that we will face before. And apart from that, another challenge in this project is the use of different grant systems. As we all know that the implementation of grant in European and local country is quite different, especially on the financing methods. So, but with the help of RMC and UiTM Bendahari, all the processes went smoothly. Okay, at the end of the project, the European and Asian universities, the graduates from European and Asian universities, along with the textile and apparel industry, will be working together in order to fulfill the main idea and also objectives of the project. I think that's all from me, and I'm very pleased for any question related to this project. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dalila, for sharing with us informations on the application process and her experience in applying the Erasmus Plus program. Okay, I think it's quite a really a big project, Doctor.
Yes, it is very challenging.
Very
Plus, with the
challenging, but
very
it's not
challenging.
impossible. I think not impossible for us to submit our application or even to obtain the grant. Okay.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so kita buka lah ya. We proceed to the Q&A session. Okay. Jika
Okay.
ada apa-apa soalan daripada participant, you just on your microphone dan boleh bertanya lah. Maybe I look at the chat section kalau
Chat
ada
room.
tak soalan. Okay. Belum ada soalan lagi dekat chat. Okay. Any questions from participants?
Any question?
Maybe I start, Dr. Dalila. So I would like to ask on the scope of the project for the capacity building. Can you share further details on the what are other scopes of projects, scope of projects that would be acceptable to be applied for capacity under this joint capacity building project?
All right. Maybe I can show again the slide. Where if you look at to know about the scope, is already explained in this website. Where here, if I can click the website again, let me see. Okay, so this is the scope. Like our project, we did apply the joint project. So it is all about developing the curriculum, courses. There's also a practical training, which is the internship for the students. And also there's also involvement from the industries. A little bit on the mobility because the students as well as the staff will need to go for mobilities, need to go to European countries for trainings. There's also a development in the sense of the program itself, the subject itself, the online platform. So those are the scope under the joint project. It is much more on the curriculum methods
All right.
and academics area, which I believe some of us
Yeah.
will ask whether is this grant for the scientific grant or academic part. So apart from scientific, we have another option which is under the academic staff. So since we are all our academics, so curriculum very close to us. So I think please grab the opportunity because there's huge opportunities you will get this grant.
Yeah. All right. Okay, thanks, Doctor. Ada beberapa soalan ni from the chat
Okay.
section. Okay, from Dr. Lim Chen Kim. I have applied one and called certified but failed. Will you advise me to revise the old one or come up with a new one?
Okay, it depends on types of Erasmus grant you have applied for. As you can see, there are various types of Erasmus Plus grant. But I'm not sure whether Dr. Lin can. I'm not sure what kind of grant that you have applied. But in this particular case, just I would advise maybe you use the old one just to enhance a little bit, get a juice of it. What's so
Mm-hmm.
uniqueness of this project? Maybe somehow look at in the sense of in general, international review, what would be the advantage of our students, especially in Asian country, because European country really wants to help us in Asian countries. So anything that related to Asian countries, the students, the curriculums, the subjects, the stuff itself, I think, inshallah, if you can give a uniqueness out of the Asian part, you will get, inshallah.
Okay, all right. Okay, another question from Dr. Maishiha from Faculty of Science. Tell us more on the financials. What are the differences? Please elaborate on this.
Okay, the one that I explained to you just now, all right, okay, the one that I have mentioned to you just now, this is the whole project. Okay, actually, for the whole project, for the whole country, if you look at in the procedure, there's a detail on the staff cost. For example, they give you a rate for a day, how much you have to pay, and it also depends on your position. If you are manager position, you will get this amount and how many days that you are working for this project. So those those under the staff cost, which is it depends on your position, how long you've been working, and also the rate for it. Okay, for the travel cost, that's also jot down based on the location of your country. If Asian countries, this is the rate that you can spend on. And on that, you have to specify what are the activities involved for the travel cost. As that's for our case, it's all about training session because we need to go for the training session in Europe. So the travel cost would be on the training session itself. For cost of stay is also related to the travel cost. So since we need to go for the training session, the cost of stay is dependent on where you go. If the training is in Greece, so the cost of stay, um, how many days, from which country, that's the rate for that. So that's under the cost of stay. For the equipment cost, you need to jot down what are the equipments that you need for this project. So out of that, there's an allocation for the equipment cost. But I just want to add in, for the equipment cost, you cannot buy any furniture. There's also, you cannot buy any real estate. You cannot buy handphones. So all the details, you can find it in the procedure, which I have already mentioned to you earlier. For the subcontracting cost, because it related to the audits, financial audits, there's a cost for that. The final conference are also under the subcontracting, and we need also to translate the project in Bahasa Melayu. So that's also a cost for translation cost. So those under the subcontracting cost. I hope that I explained to you well on this budget and cost effectiveness.
Okay, doctor, in addition to that, can we appoint any research assistant to help us?
Okay, regarding that, we have already talked to we call it P1. P1 is the partner, the first partner who really organized this project. According to them, we cannot hire any research assistant. We cannot hire anyone that not belongs to or not attached to university. Let's say if you want to do admin work, you have to use whatever you have in your faculty. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
perhaps you want to use your own admin or Krani.
Okay.
If she willing to do that for you, you can include N. And there is also payment for that. That's what I said under
Okay.
staff cost. We are paid for everything that we do for this project.
Alright. Okay. Okay. Clear, Doctor. Okay, there is one more question from Dr. Lim. Must it be a balanced number between the Asian and European members? Like yours was three locals and three Asia, three Asia country and three European.
Yes. That's in the guideline. There is a guideline on that where you need to have for this project capacity buildings of field of higher education. It depends. That's why I say it depends on what type of Erasmus grant that you apply for. For the capacity buildings in the field of higher education, specifically for the joint project, you need to have at least two participants from the European countries. Okay. So in this case, the main, which we call as the main organization, is the one in Greece and Spain. And also, you need to have two institutions from at least two or three Asian universities. So that's why if you look at here, in each Asian university, there are two institutions involved. So that's the requirement in the capacity building leadership of education.
So you mentioned just now that there will be one main project counterpart here.
Coordinator, yeah, yeah,
Okay, the University of West
Atika,
Attica from Greece, right?
great.
Okay, so looking at our research grants in Malaysia, for example, like LRGS, TRGS. So there will be a program leader. They call main program
Yes,
leader. Is it
yes,
similar to that? Meaning that
yes,
Greece is the leader, the program leader, and the rest are the project leader.
yes, exactly. Exactly the same,
Oh,
just like LRDS and the TRDS.
mm-mm.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Okay. So who will going to apply for this Erasmus? Means
Okay,
that
okay. From the brainstorming session, they eventually come up with Greece to lead the project because just to share with you, Greece, the West African University, before this, this university also experienced for Erasmus Plus program. So they had one grant before. So
all right.
maybe that the advantage for us because they know how to count to overcome to anything that can fulfill this Erasmus grant. So that's why for this project, West Africa, we 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 agreed to appoint West Africa to become the leader because of the previous experience they used to have this grant before that.
Okay, but the proposal is submitted online, right?
Yes,
So means
exactly.
that only University of West Attica submit the application,
Yes,
but each
exactly.
university will come out with their proposal also. Okay,
Yes, yes,
for your
yes,
projects. Okay.
yes, yes,
So in addition to that, you have this share with us just now the work package. Okay.
yes.
So work package. So there are several work activities under the work packages. So for each activities in these work packages, are all university participate or involved?
Yes, exactly. At least the one that directly involved or some of it we give input. Because for example, under the quality plan, most of the project will be handled by IDEC. I think I already show you one of the
Mm-mm.
team member IDEC, the training center. So
Mm-mm.
the one that responsible is IDEC, but we provide input for IDEC to do the this work package.
All right. Okay. Okay, even though that the application, the program leader is come from Greece, so from our side, from our university, we must also apply to online and must be endorsed or recommended by the university.
Yes, exactly. Once, let's say, if you manage to get the grant, so all the partner country will get an agreement from
Okay.
Erasmus Pass program. So those you need to get being signed off by the Vice Chancellor or Deputy Vice Chancellor under the Research and Linkages the Vice President.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
All right. Okey, kita buka lagi, masih buka kepada
Buka
sebarang
lagi.
pertanyaan. Boleh on je
Boleh
mikrofon,
tanya.
boleh tanya, boleh,
Saya nak
tak ada
tanya
masalah.
soalan boleh?
Boleh,
Boleh,
sila
silakan.
doktor.
Sila.
Okay, first of all, congratulations Dr. Dalila on
Okay.
receiving that big grant, and that is truly inspiring. So my question is that how did you choose those universities to be part of the project? Is there any similarities or is there any criteria that you look into?
Okay, alright. Terima kasih. Thank you for the question. Okay, talking about that, because all the countries involved had the similarity. Uh, so all these countries, the institution here, we do offer textile engineering and textile technology courses. So having this similarity background or area, that will be a good or advantage for us on where and how to improve somewhere in this particular curriculum or subject. So that's how we choose the university. Luckily, because of this is come from European countries, our staff, she was actually a PhD student in Ghent University. So her supervisor has a contact from Greece, has a contact from Spain, and in fact, most of the students in Ghent University also from Asian University. So having them in a group are really helpful because everybody was like giving an idea on where and how to improve this area, the same area, which is on the textile engineering and textile technology. It will be good if you are working something on the similar area because you know where to counter, what is the problem and how to improve this problem.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Alright,
Any,
any more questions? Doctor, you mentioned just now on the involvement of the industries in your project. Okay,
exactly.
so how they involve, doctor? Is it only as a participants answering the questionnaire, or it is members, part of the team members?
Okay. So for the industry, we are not consider them as partners. That's what it says in the procedure. Because in the procedure or the guideline says that the one that can apply for capacity building in the field of higher education is mostly on the higher education institution or training center, which is all related to curriculum or academic matters. So for the industry, since we cannot bring them as part of the project, but they are still the one that involved in the project. So they just help us in the sense of giving some input on what they are looking at specifically on the competency of the graduates. And also there will be an MOUs between the industries and also the universities. That's what we plan. But at the moment, we are a little bit, I mean, we cannot move so fast at that moment because few things, um, everything I had done is everything in the internet. So whatever it is, we have to go for it. So in your case just now, the industries cannot be the partner, but they only just contribute inputs for this project. But there will be an MOUs program.
Okay, thanks, doctor. Meaning that the involvement of the industries in this project is not compulsory, it's not a requirement by
Yeah,
Erasmus, bukan
enggak,
kan? Okay.
bukan, tak boleh jadi partner.
Okay, alright. Okay. Any more questions from participants? Doctor, how this project will be monitored?
Okay, because every month, our P1, which is the organizer, the West Africa, will always keep on updating what to do next. We usually get an instruction for them because they got this guideline. So everything is handled by Grace. So every month we are being monitored by West Africa. So we will have a meeting and discuss what to do next and what is the work package that needs to be done within this time of period. So
Alright,
we are
okay.
monitored based on that. Yeah.
Okay, ada apa-apa lagi? Saya masih buka lagi kepada sebarang pertanyaan sebab rasanya ini satu perkongsian yang sangat useful lah kepada kita because curriculum and academic matters is very close to us as a lecturers. Jadi sangat dekat dengan kita. So saya pun sangat berharap lah ada yang berminat untuk memohon Erasmus Plus for the next application. Alright. Ada apa-apa lagi pertanyaan? Okay, Doctor. Looks like there is no more questions from the participants. Okay. So we have reached the end of our sessions. So on behalf of the RMIC UPSI, I would like to thank Dr. Nor Dalila for taking your time to share your experience in applying this Erasmus Plus program with us. Okay. So to all participants, thank you for participating in today's sharing session. We hope to submit at least 1 or 2 application for next year, February 2021, but we need to prepare from now. Okay, so the first step is to find a right counterpart. Okay, betul tak, Doktor?
Betul.
Okay. From the European countries, because it is compulsory from European countries, at least two countries involved in this project, and at least 2 to 3 countries from the Asian countries. Okay. So untuk sharing session, for today's sharing session, we will send you link. Boleh Doktor untuk sharekan PowerPoint. We will share with the participant di our sharing session video recording, as well we will email the PowerPoint slide. Okay. So I think
do you still need the Erasmus Plus program guide as well as the procedure?
Kalau dapat lagi bagus, Doktor. Okey, terima kasih banyak, Doktor. Okey, sekali lagi saya bagi pihak RMIC mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih yang tak terhinggalah kepada TS Dr. Dalila Nor Affandi daripada UiTM Shah Alam berkongsi pengalaman beliau memohon Erasmus Plus, dan I hope this really inspiring us lah, because as I said just now that the curriculum and academic matters are very close to us. Jadi tak mustahil lah untuk kita nak mengemukakan permohonan untuk yang akan datang ini. The latest will be February lah. The due date is February. Okay. 15 February ke 5 February tadi?
5 February.
Dia memang sama je. Dia memang sama setiap tahun
February dia memang sama. Yes.
Okay. So memang cukup masa lah, ample time to find a counterpart dan sebagainya. So saya akhiri perjumpaan kita, sharing session kita pada pagi ni dengan wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Terima kasih, Doktor. Terima kasih semua.
Okay, terima kasih semua.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. Hope to see you next time. Okay.
InsyaAllah.
Alright. Okay. Okay. Terima kasih, Doktor.